Hello. Alright, so this is going to be video 6 in the How to Homeschool series, and in this video we are going to talk about choosing curriculum. So that's probably one of the most important and also one of the most overwhelming parts of homeschooling, choosing your curriculum. The reason why it's overwhelming is because there are just hundreds of choices out there. The choices are almost seem limitless, and that part can be overwhelming when you're first starting. But the good thing about it is there's so many choices out there that you can find something that you and your child love. So that's the great part about it. That's amazing. The bad part is just trying to find it all. And at the beginning, you might feel kind of like you need to research every single curriculum, and you want to look at it all, and you want to ask people about it, and you want to watch YouTube videos about all the different types of curriculums, and you just want to make sure that you have the best one. But the thing is, you'll get the one that you think is the best one, and then you'll try it, and it might not work for you and your kid, and that's okay. So just be flexible, okay? If you get a curriculum and it's not working for you, or it's not working for your child, sell it, because you can resell these things to get your money back, and try something else. And it's okay to not find the perfect fit right away also. But of course, the more you look into it, the better you'll probably end up. So I have some things to consider when you're trying to pick out your curriculum. And I think that you should base it on 4 main factors, and those are the things that we've talked about in previous videos. In video 4, we talked about what type of homeschooling method will work best for your family. What do you like the best? Just, conceptually thinking about it. What do you think will work best for your child? What works for your time? There are a lot of curriculums that are open and go, and that means that you as the parent don't have to do any prep work. You just open it up, it tells you what to do, you do it. There are some curriculums that require more prep work, more time, more planning on the parent's part, so it kind of depends on what you want. There are also curriculums out there that you can just kind of, put your child on the computer, you can pop in a DVD or go online, they can do it that way, and it teaches them versus you having to teach every subject. And I think it's great to get kind of an eclectic mix in there. But whatever method, you'll look into your method first. So if you kind of want to do, I really do recommend just being open and flexible and eclectic, especially in the beginning until you're sure about which method you want to use. But you can keep your method in mind. And then the second thing you want to think about is your child's learning style. I'm going to give you a resource in a minute, a website that you can go to, and it will actually list on there what type of learning style each curriculum is best for. So say you pick, you want to go look at math. You can look at the different math curriculums that are on this website, and it will tell you, this math curriculum is good for a visual learner, or this type of math curriculum is good for any type of learner because it incorporates different styles of learning. All right, so think about your child's style of learning. Okay, and then the next thing you want to look into is how much parent involvement the curriculum needs. I think it's good to have some curriculums, some subjects that are a little bit higher in parent involvement and some that are a little bit lower. So, for example, my daughter, who is in 2nd grade, she is about halfway through 2nd grade, but she's really she's a little bit advanced in math, so she's already started her 3rd grade math. We are done with her 2nd grade program. For kindergarten through 2nd grade, math was one of those things that I felt needed to be high parent involvement. She needed me there. I needed to teach her math. It's hands-on, we needed to learn it together. So I chose a curriculum called Right Start Math. It is a fabulous curriculum. If you have a younger child, I definitely recommend checking that out. I love it. I'm going to be using that with my other 2 kids when they get old enough. My son will be in kindergarten this coming up school year, so he'll be starting it, and I'm very excited for him because it is an awesome curriculum. But it requires a lot of parent involvement. Now, it doesn't require any prep time. It is open and go, but the entire lesson, I am there with her, doing it with her. So there's no here, let me teach you the lesson, which takes 10 or 15 minutes, and then here's your math work, and you do it on your own. Right Start Math doesn't have any of that. It's all just hands-on. It's not a lot of worksheets and drills and things like that. So it's very parent intensive. So the entire, say, 30-minute, the entire like 30-minute lesson, I'm sitting with her and doing it with her. So it has that high parent involvement. And during that time, some of the other things you might choose to be a little bit less parent involved. Now that she's going into 3rd grade, we've decided to switch to teaching textbooks for 3rd grade. And if you haven't heard of that, teaching textbooks is an online, well, it's a computer-based program. So she is doing that 100% on her own. All I do is go back a couple of times a week and I check her grade book and, make sure that she's getting the concept and understanding it. So now that has low parent involvement, so I can spend a little bit more time doing other things with her. So I like that balance of having some subjects, maybe like math or reading, that are high parent involvement. I think reading is going to be one of those that has to be high parent involvement until they're old enough to read fluently on their own, and then maybe they can do some of their literature and grammar and things like that on their own. But and then like maybe even doing a video-based history curriculum or science curriculum, whatever, just something that gives you a little bit of a break. So parent involvement is definitely something to think about. And then the other thing that you need to think about is like your time that you have. So do you want to spend 30 minutes a day every day doing math, or do you want a math curriculum that only spends 10 or 15 minutes a day? Kind of depends on your child's ability and level and how much time they need on each subject, but time's important too. Like for science, for instance, we only do science 2 days a week, and then we do social studies 2 days a week. But when we do them, we spend 45 minutes to an hour on them, so we still get in a good amount. So I like a science curriculum that I can break up into 2 days. So you just kind of think about stuff like that. But the best place I think to start with curriculum is going to, what really helped me when I started was a website called KathyDuffyReviews.com. And on there, she has a review of pretty much every curriculum I've ever found. I don't know, there may be some that aren't on there, but there's not many. I'm on the website because I wanted to show you a little bit of what it looks like. But it's KathyDuffyReviews.com. And over here on the side, it will have the different types of subjects like math, reading, language arts. And then you can do it by grade. You can search it by, like I said, subject. When you click on it, it'll give you a list of all the different subjects, all the different curriculums within that subject. You can click on that, and then it gives you just a ton of information on the actual curriculum. So it'll give you all this info. And over here on the side, it'll say, let me see what all this says. It says like what it's suitable for. This one says group or one-on-one. It says audience, which it says grades pre-K through 9 for this particular one. It'll tell you the need for parent or teacher instruction, which is great. Prep time needed for that. And it will tell you if it has a teacher's manual, and it will tell you its religious perspective. So this particular one I'm looking at is secular. So if that's something that you want to look at, that's on there as well. But it gives you that information, that quick information over here on the side. And then it tells you a really great review of it. Everything you need to know about it pretty much. And it even tells you how much it is, where you can buy it at. I mean, it's pretty amazing. This is pretty amazing. And then she has her top 100 picks, or top 102 picks for homeschool curriculum. And certain curriculums will have a little, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but it'll have this little Apple logo next to it. And those are the ones that are on Kathy Duffy's top 102 picks. Now that is also a book that you can get. And in that book, it has an even more detailed review on the top 102 picks for homeschool curriculum. Oh, here's what the book, no, I was going to show you what the book looks like really quickly. I haven't bought the book, I've just used the website, but the book would be a great resource also. But here's the book, it's 102 top picks, so you can get that as well. I'm sure you can buy it on this website, on her website. Yeah, buy now, there's a book right there. You can get it in print, or you can get it in an ebook edition. Okay, so there's that. Like I said, I haven't read the book or bought the book, but I use the website all the time when I'm looking at curriculum. And I think it's a good place to start because you can kind of quickly see a bunch of different curriculums. You can browse through, see if they meet your criteria that you're looking for. And then if it's something that sounds interesting to you, just make a little list of the, like under math, I would do like the 5 or 6 ones that I like the best. And then you go watch 100 YouTube videos on those and decide which one you really want to try. All right, so that's a good place to start. I just wanted to quickly say what I've used because I'm not the greatest resource on curriculum. My oldest daughter is, like I said, in 2nd grade, so I've only been doing this since she was in pre-K. And I don't know anything about the older grades as far as curriculums and things like that. But what we have used is we have used Sunlight, which I love. So if you want a secular version of Sunlight, it is Bookshark. Bookshark is basically the same curriculum. It's just, it takes out the religious texts that are in it, like the Bible and some of the books, the missionary story books. Basically, that's it. But Sunlight and Bookshark are literature based. So for instance, in science, instead of having a textbook that we do all of our science out of, we have living books and we have literature that's based on the science that we're learning. Or in history, we might learn about, we read books about people that we're learning about or things like that. And then of course, there's tons of literature. There's like read alouds. They just pick the greatest books. I mean, even if you don't want to buy Sunlight, because it can get a little bit pricey, you can go on their website, you can see the books that they recommend and use those as maybe like a library list because they have amazing book list and books that they read, the read alouds and stuff. I love the curriculum. It's one of those, I thought Sunlight was going to be really kind of hard to get through and tons of boxes to check, but for me, I've got it kind of a laid back, relaxed way that I do it, and it's more of like a go snuggle up on the couch and read books with my kids kind of curriculum. So I really like that. That's what we use for history, Bible, literature, and science right now. Although next year, I think I'm going to try Apologia for science. The Sunlight science has been fun, but I just want to do something different next year. So I think we will stick with the history, Bible, literature for Sunlight. Next year, we are going to do Apologia for science. So that's another great science curriculum you can look into. Don't know a ton about it, haven't used it yet, but I've done some research on it. I think that's what we're going to try. For language arts, we use Logic of English Foundations, and I cannot recommend that enough. I've done a whole video on that as well. And for math, we use Right Start Math, which I mentioned earlier. Again, love, love, love Right Start Math, and I love the concepts behind it. I have done a video on it as well. So you can go check that out. And we are going to be doing teaching textbooks for my daughter for 3rd grade next year for math, and I don't know a ton about that yet, but she has done, I think, about 18 lessons so far, and she's loving it, and I'm loving it because she's learning it on the computer. so far, so good, and we might switch back to Right Start next year. She just wanted to do something a little different, and I was ready for a little bit of a break, especially since I'll be teaching her brother a little bit more next year with kindergarten coming up. So that's what I have used. And I just want to mention one more thing before I go. I know the video is getting a little bit long, but I just got this catalog in today, so I can't not put it in the video. And it is Timberdoodle. Okay, so if you've been to the Timberdoodle website, it's just like, it's so fun. It's so amazing. I think that the full grade kits are very, very cool. They have some really fun stuff. But I personally am not probably going to buy a full grade kit. But just for instance, like here is the kindergarten. I mean, look at that. That looks like so much fun. The little visible human body, and you got blocks, and this is the kindergarten full grade package. And you can get different options. You can get a basic one, which is $235. You can get the complete one for $599, or you can get the elite package for $850. And so that's the kindergarten stuff. And it comes with language arts, math, thinking skills, geography, history, and social studies, science, STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, art, and learning tools. So if you got the complete or elite package, that would be your whole grade. You know, the whole everything, which is not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. But I never like to get an entire grade package. I like to kind of mix and choose and just customize it for my child. So, for instance, for math in Timberdoodle Kindergarten, they use Math UC Primer, and Math UC I've heard is an amazing also curriculum. So definitely check that one out, especially if you like Right Start. I think Math UC is also kind of right up that alley of like hands-on and fun and multi-sensory learning, and it's a good program, I'm sure, but it's not what I use, so I don't want that. I want Right Start Math. So just little things like I like to kind of pick and choose. But what I love to use this for is all these extra like fun things that I don't have for my curriculum yet for kindergarten next year, like the art. They have the some different art books that I'm going to purchase. They have some cool stuff for science, like the little visible human body floor puzzle and the Ready Set Bodies and Little Labs, the human body. That just sounds really fun. I think I'm gonna get that for science. And they have like learning tools. They have what do they have? What else did they have? Oh, the thinking skills. So they have the developing the early learner, that I'm going to get that for his kindergarten for next year. But they just have some really good ideas. So I like using I like to go to their full grade kits, and of course all this is on their website. You can actually see it better on their website. But I'll go to their website, I go to the whatever grade my child's supposed to be in the next year, and just look at all the fun extras and just kind of add those in as my budget allows, really, because if my budget allowed me, I would probably buy everything that's on the grade level. And my daughter's going to be in 3rd grade next year, so I was looking at the 3rd grade kit, and it looks just as fun as the kindergarten one. I mean, here's the 3rd grade kit. Oh, it looks so cool. All right, so this is actually where I got the idea of Apologia. I mean, I've heard of it before, but when I was looking through the Timberdoodle kit for 3rd grade, I saw that in science they use the Exploring Creation with Zoology, which is from the Apologia. So I think that's what we're going to do next year for 3rd grade. So you can use Timberdoodle as a good starting point too, to see like some fun thing. And they do use teaching textbooks for math in 3rd grade. So that's already the math that I want. I mean, maybe I'll just buy her the whole 3rd grade kit. No, because they're using Story of the World for history, and we're going to use Sunlight for history, which uses a bunch of different books, but Children's History of the World is like the spine for Sunlight 3rd grade. And then they use Story of the World later on. So I can't do Story of the World yet if I'm staying with Sunlight. But anyways, I mean, Timberdoodle is a fun place to kind of go. I think you should go to Kathy Duffy Reviews and kind of get an idea of some things that you want to do. And then go to Timberdoodle and look and see some of the fun extras that you can add on. And while you're at it, just check out Sunlight, because it's just amazing. It's the best. I love it. All right, so that is my just sort of advice on curriculum. I know that it can get overwhelming and there can seem like there's just so many choices, but at some point you just have to pick something and try it, because what might work for one family is not going to work for your family. So you just got to start trying things. And my advice would be starting out to not spend so much money. When I first bought Sunlight, I didn't know if we were going to like it or not, and I saw, of course, on the website for what I got. I ended up getting the full grade package for 1st grade for my daughter, and it was, I think it's around $800 on, if you buy it new. But I went and got on some of the local Facebook groups, and I found someone selling the full 1st grade package for $300. So I bought that. And you can always try and get bargains, or you can even borrow things from the library, books and things like that to cut costs, and just do what you can in the beginning to try things out, and don't spend too much money right away. And there's so many free options out there too. If you want to just try homeschooling, but you don't want to spend money because you're not sure how things are going to work out, or you don't have the money to spend, whatever the case may be, you can homeschool for free. Don't think you have to spend thousands of dollars on curriculum and supplies. You can do it for free as well. In the next video, I'm going to talk about making learning fun and making your homeschooling what you want it to be. Obviously, you chose homeschooling for a reason, and it's probably not so that you and your child could be stressed out and worry about getting enough school done and getting it all finished. And so I'm going to talk about making it fun and just really enjoying your children and relaxing and letting them enjoy learning. And I'm going to talk a little bit about deschooling, which is something that you will need to do if your child has been in school. If you're starting when your kid is young and they've never been in school, then you don't need to deschool. But if your kid has been in school for a couple of grades or a couple of years, or even if they're in high school, whenever you decide to pull them out of public school or private school and start homeschooling them, you need to think about deschooling. So we'll talk about that in the next video, in video 7. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.